members who share.
Yeah, I gotta tell them the code.
All right, we're gonna get started. Hello everyone, and welcome to the second round of the club officer orientation and our workshop. I'm Sean Green. I'm the advisor for ELT. In just a second, everyone's name is going to get introduced in a second anyway. But I really don't know how to do an introduction without giving my name anyway, so it kind of just worked out. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Elijah or Elder.
That's me. So, I'm going to introduce this amazing team of ELT right now. Here is Sean Green. He's already did the introduction. Kojak Castle, our club development coordinator. And by the way, Kojak is, Sean is our advisor, sorry. And here we have Elijah Moore, our club marketing coordinator. So, also letting you know that we still have vacant position, implement our club coordinator. If any of you is interested in joining that amazing group, as I was saying, just apply on Handshake.
Handshake, go ahead, handshake.
So,
All right, so there are some differences with what a club officer and a club advisor is. The big ones being that your advisor helps to make sure that the kind of legacy of your club stays together, right? So as you can see here, it provides support, someone that you can talk to, you can get help with, resources, like being able to get rooms reserved or being able to get food for an event, being able to also deal with some of the financial elements, like how much your club has in its account, how to be able to deposit funds and stuff like that. And yeah, the transition of, kind of, like I said, the legacy transition of knowledge, the documents, the bylaws, if anything that might have been you guys had in a club that was like, say like a chess club had chessboards, right? And they were the club's chessboards, right? And that they got passed on, where the club advisor could help to make sure that is getting stored and passed on to the next officer for the next following year. And yeah, make sure that they're also following the processes and policies of the college. Most of the club guide already follows that. And then the officers, this is what you guys are, right? So you guys lead those events and the meetings. You help do the club management, making sure that the roster, all of you members are up to date, that you have their email addresses. Helping to gain new members, being doing the engagement, the outreach to just to continue to build on your membership and your club and what the mission of your club is. Submit budget requests. Obviously, I will do a walkthrough in very shortly here, kind of do an example of that, so you guys have an idea and know what you're doing. But yeah, work closely with your other officers. You have to have at least 2 of them at a minimum, but and on the re-registration sheet, you can have us up to many as 10. And then work with your advisors, and then other things like, again, kind of the management, the club management aspects of it, right? So those are the 2 differences, right? And so with that, I'm going to pass it on to Elijah now. Now it's Elijah right there.
Yep, that's me. So club guides and resources can mostly be found in Student Life or on Wolfpack Connect. For example, these are some of the resources. So the printed club guides can be found in Student Life, and then the updated club guide can be found on Wolfpack Connect on the EOT profile page. And you will receive important updates via the EOT newsletter written by me in the coming months.
All right. So how's everyone doing today? Good? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Love those thumbs.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, right, in order to keep those thumbs up, ELT has some funding that were granted by SAB, right? And part of that funding helps to go fund the clubs. Now, who can make funding requests? First, you club officers can make requests. Also, your advisor can make requests. So, first funding type is going to be event support. Now, club officers can submit a budget request, right? That goes through a pre-approval process that Sean will explain a little more thoroughly a little bit later. But in terms of event support, each club can get per academic year $100 in order to support their events. Doesn't really matter what the event is so long as it's on campus, right? can be a recruiting event, it can be just a fun event. This can go towards food or promotional materials, anything of that like. It's on a first come, first served basis. And of course, college policy, with food, if you go over $50, you have to, or 50 or over rather, you have to go through our catering services first. Now they can deny you, and then you can go outside of the college to get your food. But if you keep it under like that 49 and below dollars, then you can go anywhere, so long as they're licensed and insured. So a little tip there. Okay, so after the event's happened, you will submit a payment request in Wolfpack Connect, and that's how you'll get reimbursed for your event. Travel funding. Now this is a really important type of funding. Okay, so first things first, budget request. We need this in a very timely manner, at least 4 weeks before you're planning on traveling. This is in the regular semester. But we need it the first Monday in May if you're planning on traveling at any point during the summer. Now, before the departure date, each student must complete a travel waiver form through Wolfpack Connect. You must also submit a payment request to Wolfpack Connect within 10 business days of returning. Very wordy slide. All right, now there is up to $5,000 per club per academic year. You can also take a few trips if you go with that $300 per student aspect, but you're still at that $5,000 cap. You can take a few trips, so long as you don't hit that $5,000 cap, you can just take one big trip and hit $5,000. But you also have to keep that in the purview of, is it in the mission of your club, right? Yep. Membership dues. Now, if you're a club, this is mainly the academic clubs where you have a national or local affiliation, or statewide affiliation, you'll submit this is a payment request.
You could actually just submit it all on the budget.
Just a budget request, all right. This is just a budget request as well through Wolfpack Connect. You'll need to provide proof that you've paid to this local, state, or national affiliation. You'll also need to provide the student's name, which we will cross-check against your Wolfpack Connect roster in your club, and only the students who you submit who match up to that Wolfpack Connect roster will be reimbursed. Now, there's a couple minimums, maximums with this. Clubs with less than 100 members, up to $25 per student, with a maximum of 25 students, so that's 25 per 25. And in clubs, if you have 100 members or more, that's 25 per 50. Once approved, the funds will be transferred into the club's account where the advisor and treasurer will have the responsibility of getting individual students reimbursed. Now we're going to pass it on to Sean, who's going to show you that process in a little more detail.
All right, so yeah, let me stop sharing and pick up the full window here now. So I'm just going to use something very basic like event funding, right? So as Kodiak mentioned, you can get up to $100, first come, first serve. Basically, it's things to help for awareness and helping you engage with getting new members and getting you a club out there. So I have a club called Test Group Club, right? So I'm going to go to my Test Group Club, and this will look very similar minus these videos that are up here because I'm playing around with it. But there is a budget tool on one of these colored tiles here, and we want to click on budget. And when I show you this event funding, there's obviously going to be, this is where you do all of the other ones too. But so I'm only going to go over the event one. So please, I'm trying to kind of preface it by not letting you get confused about anything when I do show it. All right. So as you can see, I've been kind of playing around as I've been showing how you do this. So that same one is in there, by the way. But so if I want to go ahead and create a budget request for event funding, I would go ahead and hit that create budget request button right there. And then as you can see, the same things that Kodiak literally just mentioned are going to be here as well. So that you kind of have an idea again as to what the limitations are and what you can do with the event funding. So in this case, since we're doing an event funding, let's say that let's say that we want to, spend some money, on, something like, food, right? We want you $50 and we know that, okay, well, because we have to use catering at that point, we will select the $50 and we will go through and actually, go through catering, but we can go ahead and select event support, name, bless you, name this, you know, text, and then the description. Obviously, the more information that you provide, the better that when the Senate Finance Committee and ELT get together to approve these, do a pre-approval, they have, the more that they can understand exactly what this is to, and if they might be on the fence of wanting to say, oh, this doesn't meet the requirements of the club guides, the more that you provide in the description, the better it kind of allows them to be able to figure out if it does apply to the actual club guide. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, you go through next, and then a lot of this is very explanatory, right? So you're in this case, you're picking the event funding for food. You could do other things like you wanted to get maybe multiple copies and print flyers off to promote your stuff like we have on the tables right now. You could do duplicating, or say you need supplies, like you need a bunch of banners, ribbons, or just party supplies or whatever, right? You're picking out the right thing that you need, right? And then the amount that you're requesting. And so if we were to do 50 here, not 520, oh my goodness, that would be terribly bad. Just joking. And then since we're not financing any by the actual group, if you did have money, you could use that for, say, other things. Then you just continue to follow through the process and then fill out the form as necessary. So I'm only going to go a few more steps farther in here, but as you can see now that as we go down, the location, the dates of the event, the time of the event, the food, again, it tells you if you're wanting food, what to exactly do. If you're going to be using catering, in this case, we said we are, right? So you just filing and then you hit submit and then that's it. Then after that, that goes to the Senate Finance and ELT Club Funding Committee. They will review that, and this semester, they're doing it every Monday, their review, and then they'll tell you exactly if that got approved or needs some modification or if it got denied. And then you hold your event, right? You do your event, and then afterwards, once your event's done, then you submit your payment request, right? So, and it's very similar for the travel funding as well. You're going to be spending that money and then asking for the payment request after the fact. But this way, it allows us to know that all the funds are being spent appropriately and whatnot. So before I go any further, though, I just wanted to, because obviously when it comes down to money and dollar bling, it can get a little bit complicated and a little bit confusing. So I just want to check, does anyone have any questions? And feel free just to ask away. And Simone, if you have any questions, oh, Barbara, I see you up there, Barbara. You just shout them out and let me know. Otherwise, I'll give it 30 seconds. Otherwise, I'll just continue. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions?
I had a question.
Yes, I'm related question. Yes, for Simone.
So it wasn't about this topic, but I seen that as soon as I became club officer, it was asking me to validate a new member.
Yeah.
It sent me a notification. So how would I do that?
Yeah, definitely. Let's this for what's the specific club, for example? Just Love Grow Serve.
Yep, it's Love Grow Serve.
So I'm just going to kind of show it, and I'm sorry for taking us all off track here, but it's because I love answering questions so well. I'm going to have us be able just to kind of look at this because you're all our officers. This is part of club management, stuff that you would be being notified to do, right? So the way that you would go about doing that is you would go to that members tab, right? And it should have right up here, if you had any pending members that need to be validated, you would have a thing that would be listed up on top right here, what you do. And then you go ahead and click on that. And I'm not actually not valid. You're going to do this on your own, but I'm just going to show you. And then down here, this little checkbox is, this would valid. So as soon as you check that checkbox, they become an official member of the student club. Until that though, they're not 100% affiliated with the club. So does that make sense, Simone?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna try to do it in the like somewhere else, not on my phone, because sometimes those don't pop
Yeah.
up.
Sometimes it doesn't do the same thing. It doesn't do that same, yeah. All right, so it doesn't seem like there were any financial related questions. So, did you about to raise your hand, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So say we didn't put in a request for funds, but we decided to maybe just buy groceries.
Yeah.
Like next week, we're planning on doing a camping trip with our
Yeah.
club. So if we did like potatoes, wrapped them in foil, cooked them, like
Yeah.
burgers and stuff like that, we would just keep a list of like what we spent personally for the receipt.
You could try to retroactively submit a request, right? But the biggest thing that you will run into is because it's all students making decisions, right? If they feel that it does not meet that club guide requirement, and you could potentially be paying for that out of your own pocket, or somebody whether it be the advisor who's paid for that check or whatever. That's the biggest fear that we have is we don't want anyone to end up having to actually have to pay out of their own pocket for something like that. And so by being able to submit that payment request, at least is beforehand, again, we could try to retroactively do it. It just makes it a little bit more complicated.
That's good.
It allows us to make sure that we're getting you guys covered, right?
So what I'd say is the process exists like it does because we want to pre-approve you, like Sean says, so that you know that if you spend that amount on what you say you're gonna spend it on, then you will get that money, most likely, or probably 100% pretty much, yeah?
Okay.
So we want the system to work like that. Retroactively, we can't pre-approve retroactively because you've already spent the money.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of up in the air. We want to serve you best, so we really would like it if you would follow the system.
All right.
Yeah.
It just works better that
Sounds
way,
good.
yeah.
I'll just speak with my advisor on it and then
Cool.
follow back up.
Cool, yeah, let me know. All right.
Director Rome.
Yes. Could one of you share what types of things can be paid for with the travel funding?
Yeah,
Just be travel funding or would,
so things that,
Or is
well,
this event funding? I guess it depends. It sounds like you're taking a trip.
It's at the MSCR School Forest. So
This is fitness and rec.
Yeah.
Club. Could count that as an event.
I was gonna say, I think it's leaning more towards an event.
Are you actually staying overnight?
yeah. I mean, again, I mean,
I think the deciding thing is how far out is this trip?
It's in Verona.
No, how far out time wise?
Next
Oh,
week.
it's next week.
Yeah, so we can't even do travel 4 weeks.
Yeah, because travel says 4 weeks ahead.
Yeah, so we couldn't even do travel then.
but in general though, like, the biggest thing I think that related to travel funding, OJ did point this out, but like, things that are professional development related to the club's main mission and goal. So, I mean, I use chess club again, right? If there was a chess tournament or whatever, there could be some validating argument that could be made that said that could be a justifiable travel trip, that you could put a travel request in for to say, hey, this is making us better at chess or something like that. I mean, fitness and rec, like you could put in a request. I don't really know off the top of my head what your guys' mission is, but fitness, yay, like being fit or being healthy. Like, I mean, maybe if there was some sort of event that was being hosted, maybe at a different city, you could put in a request to do a travel funding for that. Like anything that relates to the main goals of what the event, the club is, that coincides or aligns with what the travel funding expenses. So,
I mean, even it sounds like this camping trip, had you submitted it, or if it wasn't so close in time wise,
Mhm.
you could submit that under a broader umbrella as travel funding and try to get you
Sounds good.
like gas and stuff, yeah.
So, no other questions. I am going to continue on. I think we're good. So now next part about this is incentive, the incentive program. The incentive program is basically allowing you to get free money for doing basic club management things. So, things like, hosting an event, right? If you've hosted an event already, then you've already checked something off of the incentive program, right? Checking a student in, basically you have to do a certain number for each level, and every level that you do, you get either 100, 200, you can get up to $900 in total for a whole year, right? So, as you can see, yeah, so like the fall semester, right? You can do 100 points for all, if you do 4 out of the 6 items on there, and some of them I just mentioned off, creating an event, publishing news on your pretty club, checking into an event, you just need 4 of those and you get 100 points, which is $100. Then for fall, I'm sorry, for the second tier, you do a little bit more of those club management things. You could get up to $300 for the fall. But then if you do the first, the second, and then the third all in spring, then that's $600. And then, yeah, that was $900. And I would love to send all of the finances off to the director here and say, hey, we have all these clubs finished and did the incentive program, and I'd love to see the look on her face as she's signing off on that. So I encourage you all to please do it. This is free money, and a lot of those things that you're doing right now, you being here today, for example, you will get a survey, a little quiz thing after this. If you fill that out, you're helping to contribute to fulfilling the incentive program requirements. And the more that you're filling those out, the more that you're helping yourself out. And if you want to ever check to see exactly what your club's ranking is, you can go down, and again, I'm going to go back here and stop sharing this because I think I have a window share again. You can go to from the homepage of Wolfpack Connect. You can go off on the side here on this left side of pane and click on Club Incentive, and you can see exactly where you're listed right now and what things your club has done. So again, respiratory therapy, for example, they're on the way. They're doing pretty great right now. So I'd love to see it and get as many of you getting that free money. I mean, it would be a missed opportunity. We don't want you missing out and having that money. So yeah, there's that. So moving on though, then I'm going to continue on what we'll see what the next thing. There we go. Well, liaison.
So, like we right now give you a lot of information about funding, about how to send a request. So this is a resource that ELT is working on to help you, all of you officers, in case you have other questions right after those workshops. Every one of us here is assigned one club, multiple clubs. Oh, all right, multiple clubs. And I guess you received email from us, or you didn't yet. So you can get, and during our drop-in hours, we have the flyers here. If you have any question, you can check on your emails if you receive email from us that's saying that, hey, I'm your club liaison guy. If you have any question, just come in and then we can help you. I know Sean cannot do the work only alone, so we kind of helping, so you guys can have better understanding of how the club is running, what you should do to plan an event for budgeting, or maybe identifying you guys' mission. So feel free to come at our drop-in hours. Feel free to grab the flyers on your tables also. And if you have any other question, come by and can all help. Yeah. So next.
Yeah, so kind of like what Aljo said, these flyers are on your guys' table. You guys want the actual copy, but our club support drop-in hours, more specifically, if you guys have any general inquiries, just drop in during these days and hours. And then if you guys have any questions that are after these hours, just either come in the next day or you can email club@madisoncollege.edu. We'll try to reply back as soon as we can. And then these drop-in hours are happening in student life, the main board.
Awesome. So we here at ELT are one of your main resources as officers of a club. But other resources you have are the Clarion Media, which is headed up by Doug Kirkberg, the Intercultural Exchange by Linda Lee. And all of us here in Student Life are happy to help all of our club officers and facilitate the development and growth of all of our clubs.
Then, this is an event that is happening pretty soon. It's coming up on the 26th of October. It's spectacular, family spectacular. It's organized by PTK. And this is the sign-up QR code. If it's to come, it's gonna be at 11, right? From 11.
It's 10 to noon.
10
And
to noon.
what we're asking for you to sign up for is to host an activity for kids. So usually the kids are 10 years old or younger. And we, DTK, can provide materials if you don't have the budget for that. But we are definitely looking for more clubs to sign up to help us out. It's a super fun event. We do like a costume parade and all sorts of Halloween themed activities. So also if you are a parent or have young kids in your life that want to come, Saturday, October 26th, 10 to noon. Happy to answer questions about that or whatever after.
Big plug to all of you clubs, and if you have any friends or officers in other clubs that you know that we haven't already reached out to, please reach out to them. We really would love to see every club on campus, every organization sign up for Family Spooktacular. It's a great event to not only go and serve the greater Madison community, which serves us so well. It's a great event to go and, go have fun with some littles.
Yeah, pretty much just like that. You guys made it to the end. Like Sean said, this is the officer orientation quiz, and it counts as your club incentive program. So make sure to scan that. We'll leave this up for a while. But yeah, and then that's the email for guilty support.
So just a secondary note there. If ever you get an email from clubs@madisoncollege.edu, it is not spam. Please look at it. Please. We use that email to get in contact with all of you, and we would prefer that you looked at those.
Cool.
So thank you all for
Anyone have-
coming.
yeah,
Any questions that have risen from the presentation? Any non-related questions? Any?
Related first.
Well, I'm throwing everything out there. They can ask what they want.
I do
Oh,
have a
what?
question.
Yes.
It's Barbara, in case you couldn't tell, but question.
Barb.
If our club wanted to reserve a room, say like the room that you guys are in now, see what it's 2402. Can I put in a reservation for a room, or does the advisor have to put in a reservation for the room? I know I can do the IE, but I didn't know if I could do a room.
Right. So my understanding of that is that the advisor would have to do that because they, as employees, are the ones who have access to 25 Live, which is
Okay.
the platform necessary to do room reservations.
Okay, sounds good. I was making sure. And then just a little side note, yeah, we need more clubs to participate in Spooktacular. I was in the meeting before that. We only have 5 clubs that has registered. So come on, guys.
Gonna wait for the awkward silence to abide, fade a little bit. Anyways. Yes. Yes, yes,
I had a question.
Yeah.
If you're an officer for 2 clubs, could you fill out the QR code twice, survey twice?
I wouldn't see why not.
If you fill out that,
Uh-huh.
it will, every club that you're linked to, it will fulfill, I mean, in this instance, right, to fulfill this 100% requirement, the this officer orientation quiz.
Yeah.
2 officers need to fill and submit this out, right?
Mhm.
So if you're an officer of 2 clubs, 3 clubs,
Uh-huh.
you submitting that will go once to every one of those clubs, right?
Mhm.
You'll need another officer, obviously, in one of your clubs to also attend this and submit this on the behalf, but you get what I'm saying, that it will attach to every one of the clubs that you're a part of, right?
So like when I fill out the survey, it's attached to my name?
Yeah,
That's your name, which is attached to every one of your
Okay,
clubs.
okay.
yeah, so one survey is doing a lot of duty.
Okay, cause like it has the, for which club are you submitting this, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
If you
we,
attach it to whichever one you're kind of most
Or
involved
fail-safe.
with.
it's a fail-safe just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, just attach it to whichever one you really like the most and
Okay, I'll try not to be biased.
Yeah. So yeah, that's honestly it though. So yeah, we're obviously eat some more food. We're gonna keep this going, and just, yeah, we're gonna be circulating around, just checking in and if you have any questions, but other than that, I appreciate you coming. And I hope that this was helpful in some way, all right?
thanks
Cool.
everyone for coming. And we hope to hold more of these in the future where we can advise all of you officers. And stop by office hours. Sometimes they get a little bit boring.
Yeah.
You can see more people.